Welcome to another episode of The Checklist, our Tuesday tip session, where we chat with event pros about the state of event culture and tips to help you elevate your next event. Today, we are welcome and joined by Mr. Curtis Johnson of Four Moon Productions. Woo! How are you today?
Fantastic. How you doing?
Good. Thank you for joining us on this day 5,000 of quarantine. How are you? How are you
Lockdown
holding
like
up over there?
everybody else doing good.
That's cool. Well, tell everyone a little bit about yourself. I know all about you, but I know everyone wants to know a little bit more about what's your background in events?
Sure. So I got started in events in 2001. As you mentioned earlier, delivering equipment, driving trucks for Encore Productions in Las Vegas, Nevada. Over the years, worked my way up in different departments and shaking hands and making friends. And now I find myself as the director of sales for Four Moon Productions.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I know Four Moon, you guys have worked with a lot of different like major companies, Zoom, Blavity, Afrotech.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
We trying to make our mark on the world or in the event industry, one client at a time. So not right so far.
Now, is it only just for stage production or, like you guys offer other services?
We do everything that we do is related to audio visual production.
Okay.
So be that stage design, custom lighting design, live stream services, custom records, anything having to do with any kind of production for live events or corporate events.
Nice. So do you like it? I know you say you transitioned from driving. How'd you pivot that?
Oh man, that was a long journey. That was it's been almost a 20-year journey.
20 years.
When I started driving and delivering equipment, I really just took to the industry. I thought it was fascinating and intriguing, and that just kind of led to me again asking more questions and diving deeper into what was available within the industry.
Okay.
So, and then as my current position, I was pretty much recruited into this position, just having, I guess, a gift of gab, as they say, and dealing with the clients. JT, the owner of Four Moon, noticed that, and here I am. So.
Nice. Now, I know, you listed a lot of like these major conferences and stuff, but do you guys work with a wide range or is it specifically the large scale, type of events?
No, and it's funny you say that because I just had a client recently say that they were going to reach out to me for something, didn't think it would be worth our time. That's not the case, man. If you need a
We feel
microphone in the
intimidated. You
future,
named Afrotech. I don't know if we're too small to.
no, man, we do from everything from the smallest to the biggest and everything in between. So
Okay.
yeah, if there's a need for production services, by all means, please reach out.
Okay, cool.
Uh,
So, in the midst of everything, I must ask, what is your take on, coronavirus and how it's affected the events industry?
I'm flabbergasted just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like it was literally just a couple weeks ago we were in San Francisco doing an event. Shortly after that, the world was shut down. So,
It's
you know,
crazy.
it is really crazy, man. But you know what? We're humans and we are the best at adjusting and adapting to new situations and new environments. So, I'm one of those eternal optimists. I know that eventually everything's going to work out and we'll get back to
Definitely.
a new normal, but this is the time for innovation. This is the time for collaboration, the time to, read those books you were trying to or needing to read and making
Mm-hmm.
those connections and reaching out to people who are all sitting at home right now. So
Right.
when we do come out of this, everybody's like, that much better for it.
Right. No, definitely. So, with all that being said, and I mean, I know you seem more like on the hands-on side. How have you guys pivoted, if at all, during this period? Like, what are you doing to stay afloat with the company?
It's tough. I'll give you that, man. It's tough because nobody really knows what the day to day brings. We're supposed to
Yeah.
be quarantined for 2 weeks. 2 weeks turn into 4 weeks, and 4 weeks might turn into something else. So,
Yeah.
um, at this point, we are producing virtual events, um, similar to what Zoom is doing, and some of these
Mm-hmm.
other platforms, and WebEx, and whatever, all these other virtual platforms out there. But taking that and making it more of a custom production. Be that recording this events, pre-recording, and then editing everything down, and then
Right.
pushing it out to a virtual platform. Just letting clients know that there's still options out there. You still want to have, conferences and events. There's still options for you out there available.
Interesting, interesting. So now that's available to everybody though, like in regards to doing the
Yeah,
virtual production. Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's there's a lot more to consider now because it's all brand new.
Yeah.
Like everything else. So there's different obstacles that you have to address with an online event versus a live event, obviously. Making sure that your presenters don't have 1 hour keynotes. That's probably not going to fly online like it would on a real stage,
Right,
So
right,
just
right, right.
changing some things up and making some small adjustments to make everything fit within this new space. I think
Right.
that's our pivot plans at the moment.
Now, was that like immediate, or it took you some time to think about that? Like, how quickly did you guys respond?
We're in a digital age, and we've already been doing these virtual events prior to COVID-19
Oh.
shutting the world down, but just not on this large of a scale. It was always, you look at things like YouTube and WebEx and Microsoft's Teams and all these platforms are already in place. People just weren't using them as heavily as they are now.
All right, all right,
Uh,
all right. Now, do you think it'll be kind of oversaturated? I mean, being that this is like almost our only means of even trying to do an event now, but
uh,
what's your take on so many people doing too many of these, virtual events and webinars and conferences?
That's a good question. I think people will gravitate to what pertains to them.
Yeah.
I had no idea how many conferences and conventions there were, until I started to really get into the industry. And there is a conference for everything that you can think of, man.
It's like
I just
every
put a
day
bid
there's
in
new ones
recently
popping
for
up.
the yeah. I just put a bid in recently for the National Barbie Doll Collectors Conference. And there's a whole conference for people who collect Barbie dolls. Like it's nuts, man. So the same thing with the virtual events. I think there's going to be thousands of virtual events available,
Yeah.
and you will gravitate and join up with whatever interests you at the time, I guess. So I don't think it's going to be oversaturated. I think it'll be, just the same as it's the new normal, if you will.
Interesting, interesting.
Uh,
So, do you think you're saying basically we can adapt this into our future, or what would you say?
Absolutely. I
Event?
don't think
That's
virtual events are here to stay.
yeah,
So even as we start to get back to gathering in real life, the virtual aspect of these meetings and events, I think it's here to stay. Because
yeah.
we
I
still
know.
have those people who don't want to travel. There's going to be a lot of people who are reluctant, especially
Hmm.
in those beginning days, to come out and gather in a large room of people. So you're going to want to have the ability to push that content to those people as well, and that's where the virtual content will come into play.
Interesting. No, that's true. That's true. I guess we'll just have to see how it all plays out going towards it.
One day at a time.
So even with the pivot though, like has it kind of hurt you guys' revenue, or have you found other, or is this keeping you basically going so far with these virtual events?
I won't lie, man. It definitely hurt the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
This and the trickle down effect. I think is one thing that people have overlooked. Yeah, we produce events, but we produce events in hotel ballrooms and
Mm-hmm.
venue spaces. All
Mm-hmm.
of those people, don't have events to produce or don't have anything to do. So this, I guess, is directly reflected in the unemployment rates and all of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, it definitely hurt. I think the thing now though is to assess the situation and see how we can pivot and stay current and relevant. And that's teaching yourself, learning as much as you can about what options there are in the virtual event world
Mm-hmm.
and how to package that up for each individual client to meet their needs.
No, definitely. That's true. I mean, people now understand the impact events have on the economy. All these venues everywhere that's closed. So it's interesting to see how it's all
Oh,
playing
absolutely.
out. So,
Yeah. I mean, I was on a
oh, go ahead. You were on a what?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was on a flight every other week. Was like my schedule, and being stuck at home is totally different. Like,
You don't know what to do
totally
with
different.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Suitcases over there collecting dust, man. It's definitely different.
So the
Definitely
minute we
different.
good, you going on the next flight out, just going somewhere.
Yeah, man. Can't wait.
You ain't even gonna look back.
Yeah.
You spending time with the family. It's a good time to relax.
Oh man, absolutely. And I love it. Getting stuff done around the house, fixing the squeaky cabinets and the loose doorknobs and all that
It's
kind of
been
stuff.
sitting there for the last
Things
8
that go lacking when
months.
you're on the road. Yeah.
No, that's what's up. That's good. Okay. So, in closing, more so to speak, what would you say are 3 tips that vendors can use to kind of pivot during this period? There are people like you guys that are more of the hands-on suppliers or, provide the physical things that may not necessarily think of or think they can actually go and do something like virtual events or just understanding what they can do online on the flip side. So, do you have some notes that we can put on our checklist?
Oh, for sure. I think there are so many webinars and resources available right now. A lot of these a lot of the people are giving this stuff away for free right now because they realize everybody's in the same situation.
Yeah.
So first tip is to educate yourself, learn as much as you can about what you're currently doing and how you can think outside the box and maybe you know do something different to keep yourself current and relevant in these current days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Along with that, collaborate. I think we're going to see a lot of unusual collaborations come out of this because people are, once again, are thinking outside the box. How do I need to tap into something else so I can make sure that when we do come out of this, I'm, you know, ahead of the curve, so to speak.
Right. Right.
Um, and that, and stay healthy. Again, the whole world is on pause. This is such a great time for people to get active and to, focus on your mental health, focus on your physical health. Like you said, spend time with the family and relax a little bit. Things are going to work out. And when they do, you don't want to come out of this stressed out or 10 pounds heavier or whatever, you know? So stay healthy, stay mindful and stay focused. And when everything is said and done and the dust settles, you'll be ready to go.
Good. Are you following your own advice? You doing
I
everything?
am. I am, man. I've been running.
Good.
I hate running. Running is it's my least favorite exercise, but I've been running. The neighborhood I live in is full of hills, and I'm
Ah,
up to about 3.5 miles now.
oh,
Feeling
nice.
good, feeling stronger every day.
Nice. You
Yeah.
come out like a bodybuilder after all this.
All right, man. Yeah, yeah, I'm training for the zombie apocalypse. Just in case things go left, man. I want to be ready.
No problem. Well, thank you so much for taking
Yeah.
time to talk with us today. It's truly been a pleasure. Definitely make sure you guys take notes for what he told us about putting on our checklist for your next event. And where can we find you before we go? Where can we follow you?
You guys can reach me at on my email address is Curt@4moon.com, FOURMOON.com. I'm on LinkedIn at Curt Johnson 402. And other than that, I'll see you in the next at the next event.
Yes, we'll see you at the next event. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you. Peace.